Nobody's home.
My name is Jake. I'm 7 years old and I've never lived in my own home. I've lived in 10 different houses, but they have not been my home. When I was very little, I heard someone say my mum was sick and had to go into a home. I didn't know what home she went into or what it looked like. I just know she didn't take me with her. Why would she have a home and not want me with her? I must have done something really bad. I had to go and stay with strange families in strange houses. Sometimes Mum came back to get me and took me away with her, but Mum and I only stayed together for a few days in ugly places. And then she forgot about cooking and forgot me, and she'd get sick and go away again. I didn't know how to help her. I was very hungry. A kind lady used to take me and put me into different houses with different families. I always waited for my mum to come back. I didn't know how to behave when I went to a new family. They all had different rules. I got into a lot of trouble. Sometimes I got into trouble for asking for things. Sometimes I got into trouble for not asking for things. Sometimes people would say, "You need to ask for what you want. If you don't ask, you won't get it." I heard people say I was troubled. I don't know what that means, but I used to listen to what adults were saying about me so I would know how to get things right and make them like me. At night, there were creaks and groans and scary noises inside and outside the house. Every house had a bathroom in a different place. I stayed in bed even when I should have got up to go to the toilet. I got confused, and then I got embarrassed. I started school when I was 5, and I have been at almost as many different schools as I have houses. I never had a uniform. All the other kids looked the same. I looked different. Some of the kids in the schools laughed at me because I didn't know what to do or where to sit for lunch. No one asked me to play with them. After a while, I didn't talk to other kids. I had no friends at school. I told myself not to care, as I knew I wouldn't be there long. I knew I would be moving to another house and then to another school. And then one day, Mum would come and get me. When kids were mean to me, I did things that got me into more trouble. Once, a girl at school said my mum didn't really want me, and that's why she's gone. I ripped off her glasses and I threw them onto the grass. She ran away crying. Once, I scribbled all over a boy's workbook because he drew a picture of his home with his mum and his dad and him together. I got into lots of trouble when I did the scribbling. I never had a dad. When I saw mums, dads, and kids together at school, I would get really tight, closed up feelings in my heart like a fist has punched me. I got prickles and red colours behind my eyes. I felt like I would blow up like a big volcano. At times I did. I pushed a boy and we got into a fight. His mum came and picked him up and gave him a great big hug. Nobody hugged me. I pretended I didn't care. I went and kicked the wall. When I got back to the house, I never told anyone the things I'd done. I didn't want to get sent away again because Mum couldn't find me when she came for me. One day, the kind lady came to school and took me into the principal's office. They told me my mum was dead. I didn't really know what that meant, except I knew that Mum would never come and get me ever again. She'd now left me forever. I got sent to a new house that day. When the car pulled up out the front, I thought to myself, another strange house, another bedroom to get used to, and a new set of rules I'll have to learn to follow. A pretty lady came out to the car and looked right into my eyes and said, "Hi Jake, I'm Jennifer and you're welcome here." Even though I liked the look of her big brown eyes, I didn't speak to her in case she didn't like what I said. I felt like crying, but I didn't. Jennifer took me inside the house. There was an older boy sitting in the lounge room playing. He got up, stared at me for a moment, then smiled and said, "Hi, I'm Tom. Jake, you and Tom can play here together while I make us some dinner," said Jennifer. "Dad will be home soon." Tom handed me the remote and said, "Here, you have the first turn." I didn't know what to do. I just sat there. I felt numb. Tom said, "Are you going to play the game?" I threw the remote across the room and ran outside. I buried my head in the grass and sobbed. Jennifer came to me outside and said, "Jake, you'll be staying with us now, and it will take a while to get used to another big change. It's normal to have strong feelings about change, and it's normal to have mixed feelings." At the dinner table, a man called Ben joined us. Ben shook my hand and said he was glad I was there. Tom just stared at me, so I looked down at the plate. Tom then dug into a huge bowl of pasta. My throat was so tight and dry, I couldn't seem to get the large ribbons down. My shoulders were all hunched up and my neck hurt. Jennifer said, "It's okay, Jake. You're in a new place and it's another big change in your life. You might feel nervous, which makes your mouth and throat dry. Your muscles might feel quite stiff too. You've had a big shock." I looked at her in surprise. That's exactly what was happening, but I didn't know how to say it. "You don't need to eat your dinner. You can just have milk or juice if you like," Jennifer said. After dinner, Tom showed me where my bedroom was and how the bathroom was conveniently next door. "In case you need to go to the toilet during the night like I do," said Tom. Jennifer came into my bedroom. She said she would leave the hallway light on all night for me, and then she asked me if I wanted her to tell me a bedtime story so I could relax. I nodded yes. Jennifer made up a story about a little lost dragon. He had to go away on a long journey, all on his own, to find a treasure that would lead him back home. I fell asleep before the story ended. In the morning, Jennifer bought me in some clothes for my next school. "Come for breakfast when you're ready," she said in a smiley voice. "We'll leave at 8. My throat felt dry and lumpy when I thought about school. I couldn't talk or eat any scratchy cereal. Tom was in the kitchen already. He said, "Hi," and then gave me some pancakes in the shape of rabbits. "The bunny cakes are always good," he said. I ate a bit and then a bit more. I drank some juice and I felt better in my throat and my tummy. Jennifer said, "Time to go," as she handed Tom and me lunch boxes. We drove to a school, and when we got there, Tom and Jennifer came in with me. Tom went to play and Jennifer took me right to the door of a new classroom. I felt really sick. There was a teacher inside. She smiled at me. "We're expecting you, Jake," she said. "We had a desk prepared just for you." I liked hanging on to Jennifer, even though I didn't know her very well. I didn't know what to say to the teacher, and I definitely didn't want to go out and play. Just then the bell rang, and lots of kids came in. They all stared at me, but nobody bullied me. Jennifer said she'd come back for me after school. At lunchtime, Tom came and sat next to me, and a couple of boys came to sit with him. I just watched them while I ate a bit of my lunch. After school, Jennifer was waiting at the gate. "Jake," Jennifer said, "today we're going to the Rainbow House. I think it will be good for you." The Rainbow House sounded a bit girly to me, but I didn't say anything. I was trying to be brave. I knew this family would get sick of me soon, just like the others. Would I then have to go and stay at this Rainbow House? When we arrived at the Rainbow House, a lady named Hope came and greeted us. A marmalade cat wearing a red scarf walked happily behind her. Inside there were a group of kids. Hope told us all to find a spot on the large, colourful cushions that were on the floor. The other adults in the room came and sat alongside each of us. All around the room, there were pictures of faces with feelings on them. Today, Jake is feeling nervous, shy. The lady sitting next to me said she would be my buddy. She asked me to pick out some faces that looked like I felt. I picked out nervous and shy. "Me too," she said. I didn't know that adults could feel like that too. All the kids in the room had big changes in their life. They weren't all like my changes. Some kids had their mums die. Some kids had their dads die. One boy said his dad was in jail. Whoa, that's cool, I thought. Some kids had their mums and dads divorce and had to live in 2 different houses. A girl named Ava was in a foster home like me. I forgot to be nervous or shy. I didn't feel so different or alone anymore. My buddy drew a body outline around me and I had to fill in the feelings. I couldn't think of any in my body. My body didn't feel like a safe place to me. It kept blowing up like a volcano and it scared me. I went to the Rainbow House 1 day a week. Each time we read stories and we did activities. After a while, I looked forward to going. One of my pictures was of a strong mountain where lots of changes happened, like bushfires, storms, and flooding rain. But the mountain stayed the same underneath. Being with Jennifer, Ben, and Tom, it started to feel like I had a family. On the weekends, we played football. Sometimes I got to choose what game we played. Sometimes Tom and I fought over what games we played. And that worried me because I thought I might get sent away. But I didn't because Jennifer said, "This family sticks together and it's okay to have different opinions and feelings. It's what you do with the feelings that keep you safe. You don't have to hurt the other person. You don't have to hurt the furniture. You don't have to hurt yourself. You have learned safe ways to express feelings now, and you have a safe place inside you." 1 year later. One day, Jennifer said it was the anniversary of my mum's death. I'd been in the same place a whole year. I even got Christmas presents and Easter eggs in the same house. Jennifer helped me write a letter to my mum, telling her about my new life and my new story. I talked to Jennifer about my memories, and then I cried. Jennifer let me cry, and I didn't feel like a crybaby. I felt better after having lots of tears, and I didn't have to hide them. I have lots of pencils now. I don't need to scribble on other people's homework anymore, for I can creatively draw how I'm feeling. Jennifer helped me do a body outline like I learned to do at the Rainbow House, and this time I was able to fill it in with lots of mixed feelings of different colors and shapes. I drew a croc in my throat and butterflies in my tummy and nails in my feet. She helped me talk about how I felt after everything that has happened in the past year. I've learned that I can get my anger out in safe ways too. Sometimes I go out into the yard and crumple up the fallen leaves. I rake the pieces into a pile afterwards and then shovel them into the bin. Even raking is fun. That's because you're using energy in a safe way, Ben said. 1 year after my mum died, we lit a candle for her. I made a wish that I would never forget her and that she was happy. I have happy days too now. And I have angry moments and sad moments and nervous moments and shy moments, but they come and go. Jennifer, Ben, and Tom are adopting me soon. They told me that I could stay with them all the time and forever. Now my mum is dead, I'm allowed to be adopted. I wish my mum was still alive, but I like being in the same house all the time. I haven't wet the bed for a year now. I live in a house that is my home. I have a home in my body too, where my feelings and thoughts and memories live. My name is Jake, and I'm home.